Now in its 17th year, Calgary Fringe Festival has showcased unique, funny, thought-provoking, and sometimes shocking live theater performances in the height of summer. This year's Calgary Fringe features puppetry, queer comedy, an immersive art installation, and award-winning plays. It kicks off on Friday and runs through August 12th. Joining me now to talk about this year's festival is Executive Director and Producer Michele Gallant. Hello, Michele. Thanks for joining us today on Traffic Jams.
Well, thank you very much for having me, and hello back.
Thanks. Well, first off, for those who don't know really what Fringe is all about, can you tell us what it is?
You bet. Fringe, at its core, is an open access theater arts festival. And basically, what that means is anybody is invited to participate to join. So in Canada, how we select our artists is that we go a random draw. So their names would go into a hat, and then we literally pick out the acts, number one, number two, number three, or first come, first serve. So because of that, anybody and everybody is invited to participate. It doesn't matter if you're a brand new artist. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned professional. It doesn't matter your religious background, your race, color, creed. Anybody and everybody is welcome. And one of the great things about it from that system, we don't curate the art that's being presented on stage. The artists have direct artistic and creative control over their work. So we don't curate what they put on stage. So there's only two rules that I have. The first rule that I have is you give plain disclosure as to what your show's about so that the patron can make an informed decision for themselves if it's an appropriate show for them to go and see. And my number two rule is don't break the law. Otherwise, whatever you want to put up on stage, you just go right ahead. Right. So that for me is kind of a thrilling thing from an artist standpoint, that they can present whatever they want.
How did you get involved with Calgary Fringe?
Well, the journey kind of started when my husband and I took a production of the Rocky Horror Picture Show to the Edmonton Fringe in 2004. And my husband's very entrepreneurial. He was walking around the festival site and he was like, oh, Calgary needs to have something like this. So he did a little bit of research into it, found out how to get it all kind of started. And then our first presentation was in 2006. And now here we are 17 years later, still going strong.
You still have a passion for it? What do you love about it that keeps you doing it?
Oh, gosh. I think probably the thing I love most about it is just how excited everybody is when they come to the festival. For the artist, the excitement that they get to present their own work in their own way, in their own story. So I love that. I love that the money that the patron pays goes right back to the artist. So aside from the ticketing surcharges and taxes, 100% of the box office goes directly back to the artist. And with most shows only being an hour, if a patron has never really been exposed to performing arts before, they have a chance to be able to kind of try out different genres. It's like, oh, I've never seen a musical. They can go see a musical, go out for coffee, and then go see a comedy. So I just love the excitement and vibe that it brings, the eclectic mix, the diversity of the different people and the acts that are being presented. It just makes it for a fun time.
Now, you said you don't curate the shows, but do you kind of find out, when you see what's coming in and who has what these shows are, do you choose where they go, like which venue might work best for each performance?
We do. We have them fill out what we call a show and tech questionnaire. So they give us more details about the show. Once they get selected, we find out more details about their show, what their tech requirements are. And then from our venues that we have booked, then we try and match them to the best venue as possible. The kind of the rule of the thumb for fringe artists is if you can pack your show in a suitcase, that's the best, because you only have 20 minutes to set up and you have 10 minutes to strike after each performance, because you're sharing this venue space with other fellow artists. So for us, it's like, try and keep it as tech simple as possible. If you put it into a suitcase, that's usually the best, because a lot of our artists will take their show on the road and do like a fringe touring circuit that starts out east in June and wends its way across west, which, the final ones are Vancouver and Victoria in September.
Right. Okay. Now, for those who want to dip their toes in for the first time, if they've never been to Fringe, what do you recommend?
My biggest recommendation would be is if there's something that you've never tried, but you've always wanted to try it, do it. So if you've never been to an indoor theater performance before, like I said, most shows are only an hour, go and try it, see what you think about it, and know that the money that you're paying to the artist is going directly to the artist, and you can see the passion that they bring up on stage. So for me, I call it anything goes theater. It's like a potluck supper. You get a little bit of everything. So treat it like that. Try a whole bunch of different things. Think outside the box. Be open to trying new experiences, and hang out with a bunch of really cool and interesting people that are sharing the experience with you.
Great. Now, the world's biggest fringe festival is the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and that is happening
It
soon.
is.
Edmonton Fringe is in a couple of weeks as well. Calgary Fringe is a little
Mhm.
bit smaller than those two, but what does Calgary Fringe offer that might be a little bit different?
So I guess for us, for the Calgary Fringe, what we offer a little bit different than the granddaddy of all fringes, which is Edinburgh Fringe, and the Edmonton Fringe, is we we call ourselves a boutique fringe festival. And basically what that means is that we're deliberately smaller. It's more about community and connection. It's inviting people into, like, safe and more isolated, secluded spaces where people can be in community and engaging with one another. And it's a chance to catch your breath, especially from an artist point of view. Some of the artists that are coming in off of the Winnipeg Fringe, which is about the same size as Edmonton Fringe. And then they come to the Calgary Fringe, they get a chance to kind of take a breath, relax, have some fun games nights after their performances before they head on to Edmonton, and they're back into like the bigness of what the Edmonton Fringe is.
Right.
So for us, it's just, we just call ourselves, we're just, boutique fringe. We're a fringe family. Come on down, come and say hi. Even if you don't come and see a show, come and chill. I'm usually bebopping around the different sites. I like to, converse with people, take them out for coffee, that kind of a thing. So for us, it's just a chance to kind of collectively catch our breath, be in community with one another, and not have to compete against like thousands of people. All the different festivals, we all kind of share the same philosophy, which is basically being an open access arts festival, making sure that, everybody, all the participants are welcomed to participate. And also, making sure that we're creating a safe space and a healthy environment for everybody to have a good time.
Thanks again, Michele, for joining us on CKUA today to talk about this great Calgary Fringe happening, kicking off on Friday.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your week.
That was Michele Gallant, Executive Director and Producer for Calgary Fringe. The festival runs at various locations August 4th until August 12th. For more information and to purchase tickets, go to calgaryfringe.ca.